Juno Beach looks like a Florida dream, walkable, quiet, and steps from the ocean. But if you're picturing an easy move here, the real truth might surprise you. In this video, I'm breaking down the full picture of life in Juno Beach, what makes it so irresistible, and what might make you think twice. From the tight inventory and high prices to the calm lifestyle, beach access, and strong property values, this is an honest take. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay Tronnell. I'm with the Jupiter Group. I'm a local real estate agent, and I also make videos about living in Palm Beach County. Let's kick things off with the biggest challenge most buyers don't see coming when they first start looking in Juno: limited housing inventory. Let's cut through the picture-perfect view for a second and talk about the first major hurdle if you're dreaming of life in Juno Beach: actually finding a place to buy. This isn't a sprawling suburb with new developments popping up everywhere. Juno Beach is compact, it's established, and that means the number of homes available at any given time is actually incredibly small. You might have your heart set on the perfect beachfront condo or a charming single-family home, but waiting for one to hit the market can feel like a marathon. And when something good actually does hit the market, you better be ready to move fast because you won't be the only one interested. It's a classic supply and demand situation, and here, currently, the demand heavily outweighs the supply. So if you manage to navigate the tricky waters of actually finding a home here, what's the big draw that makes it all worthwhile? This brings us to our first major pro: beachfront lifestyle. Picture this. You wake up, grab your coffee, and within minutes, your toes are hitting the sand. You're watching the sunrise over the Atlantic, and it feels like a dream. This isn't a vacation fantasy in Juno Beach, and for many residents, it's actually their daily life. The beachfront lifestyle here is truly the crown jewel of living in this area. You're not just near the beach, you're actually a part of a beach community. Whether you're surfing, paddleboarding, fishing off the pier, strolling the beach looking for turtle nests, or simply unwinding to the sound of the ocean waves, it's all right outside your front door. And compared to larger South Florida destinations, the beaches here are relatively uncrowded, which actually makes it even more special. But living this close to paradise in such a desirable small town comes with a financial reality, which leads us to our next con: high home prices. If you love the idea of a beachfront lifestyle, let's talk about what it actually costs to get in there. Juno Beach isn't a bargain hunter's dream, I'll tell you that right now. Homes here come with a premium price tag, and even modest properties like older condos or smaller single-family homes just a few blocks from the beach are significantly more expensive than many other Florida towns locally here. And if you want beachfront or an ocean view property, be prepared to pay top of the market pricing. You're paying for the location, the lifestyle, and the scarcity, and that scarcity drives prices even higher. A serious look at your budget is crucial before you get too far down the road of dreaming about living in Juno Beach. While your wallet might feel the pinch, there's a quality of life here that many residents find priceless, which actually brings us to our next pro: the low-key, small-town beach vibe. If the thought of a bustling city, street, and constant tourist crowds makes you anxious, then Juno Beach might just be your perfect sanctuary. This isn't West Palm Beach, it's not Fort Lauderdale or Miami. One of the biggest draws is a genuinely low-key, small beach town vibe. Life here moves at a slower, more deliberate pace. You're less likely to fight for a parking spot or look for a spot in the sand to enjoy the beach. Neighbors tend to know each other, and there's actually a real sense of community here. It's an escape from the high energy buzz of South Florida's larger cities like Orlando and Miami, and that tranquility is part of the Juno Beach charm. This quieter atmosphere is fantastic for relaxation, but if you're seeking a vibrant social scene after dark, you might encounter our next con: limited nightlife and entertainment. So what actually happens when the sun goes down in Juno? Nightlife and entertainment options within Juno Beach are actually really limited. You'll find some great local restaurants perfect for a relaxed dinner, but if you're looking for trendy bars or clubs or a buzzing downtown area, you'll need to head north to Jupiter or south to Palm Beach Gardens, or if you're looking for a true city feel, head down to West Palm Beach. For those who prefer a quiet evening and making their own fun, this location is perfect. But if a dynamic after dark scene is high on your list, this is definitely a con you'll want to consider. But what Juno Beach lacks in nightlife, it more than makes up for in its daytime splendor, which brings us to our next pro: all of the natural beauty. If you love nature and being outdoors, Juno Beach is like hitting the jackpot. It's not just about the beautiful beaches here, although we've got a ton of those. The town is actually steeped in natural beauty. You've got areas like Juno Dunes, perfect for a morning hike, and you also have the Loggerhead Marine Life Center, which is a world-renowned sea turtle hospital. Plus, the beaches here are vital nesting grounds to local sea turtles. Witnessing a turtle nesting or hatchling release is an unforgettable experience, and this deep connection to nature and the coastal conservation is a huge part of what makes Juno Beach living so special. The natural beauty does attract visitors, and that can actually lead us to our next point of consideration, which to some might be a con: tourist traffic in peak heavy season. Even in a low-key town like Juno Beach, beautiful beaches attract visitors, of course. During the peak season, which is the winter months and snowbird season, things can get a little more crowded. Parking near the beach tightens up, roads like A1A see heavier traffic, and restaurants may have longer wait times. Although it's definitely not as overwhelming as places like Miami Beach or Fort Lauderdale, but for the locals who cherish the usual quiet, this seasonal influx is something to be aware of. Despite occasional crowds, one of the biggest perks of Juno Beach is how easy it is to get around, which brings us to our next pro: walkability and biking. One of the joys of living in a smaller coastal town is leaving your car keys at home more often. Juno Beach is extremely walkable and very bike friendly. There are sidewalks, easy beach access points, and scenic routes along Ocean Drive. Many residents start their day with a bike ride or end their day with an evening stroll to the beach. It's not just convenient, it's actually part of the lifestyle here. It encourages you to be outdoors, slow down, and really connect with your surroundings. And for many, being able to easily walk to a beach or bike to the pier is a huge part of the Juno Beach appeal. Plus, there are a ton of local events happening in Juno, including art festivals, events and cookouts at the town hall, beach cleanups, and of course, other local conservation efforts. This ease of getting around is great for individuals and couples, but if you have a larger household, you might run into our next potential drawback: it's not ideal for big families. Juno Beach is wonderful for many, but if you're bringing a large family or you're planning to have one, housing can present some challenges. A lot of the homes here are smaller, single-family homes that have been around for a while, or you're looking at townhouses and condos, which are fantastic for couples, retirees, or smaller families. Larger, family-style homes with big yards are rare, and when they do pop up, they're more expensive than some of the other options. So if ample space and a big yard are your priorities, you'll need to be strategic and definitely patient when home shopping in Juno Beach. However, for those who find their niche here, one of the most reassuring aspects of life in Juno Beach is our next pro, which is safety and security. Feeling safe and secure in your community is huge, and Juno Beach truly shines here. The crime rates are statistically low, and residents consistently cite the town's peaceful atmosphere as one of the many reasons they love living here. For a small town with less than 4,000 residents total, they have their own police force and fire station ready to go. This sense of security is a major factor in why retirees and families choose to call Juno Beach home. It truly is your own little residential bubble. But living on the Florida coast means that there's always one significant seasonal risk factor in play, which is our next con: the risk of hurricanes and flood zones. We have to address the elephant in the room here, guys: hurricanes and storm season. Living in a beautiful beachfront town like Juno Beach means exposure to hurricane risks, especially during storm season, which runs June to November. Parts of Juno Beach are in flood zones, so flood insurance will be required. Homeowners insurance, especially windstorm and flood coverage, will be a bigger part of your budget here, so you definitely want to plan for that. While Florida's building codes are strong, hurricane preparedness is a non-negotiable when you're living this close to the ocean. Despite this unavoidable risk, there's a compelling financial reason why many still invest here, which brings us to our final pro: strong property values. Let's talk about the upside here. Strong property values are a huge driver of the economy. Juno Beach has historically been a solid real estate investment for many, and because of the limited inventory, high demand, and prime coastal location, homes here tend to hold their value very well and often will appreciate. This is a classic "they're not making any more of it" situation. Buying in Juno Beach is typically buying an asset that remains in demand, which is why even when high entry costs, gas come into play, the potential for long-term value is a major pro. So there you have it, guys, the real truth about living in Juno Beach, Florida. It's a place of incredible beauty and a relaxed lifestyle, but it also comes with its own unique challenges and considerations. If this blend of coastal charm and practical realities sounds like it could be a good fit for you, and you're ready to explore what's available, I'd love to help. My contact info is here on the screen in the description below. Give me a call, shoot me a text, and let's talk about your Juno Beach dream. If you're curious about how Juno Beach stacks up against other exclusive communities in Palm Beach County, then don't miss my next video where we tour Frenchman's Reserve, one of the county's most prestigious luxury neighborhoods. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.